Bajanisms is the ultimate Bajan handbook.
First of all, congratulations on your book, officially in public now.
Thank you.
I see some that I can swipe after this.
Reading the book from cover to cover, you should be able to understand 1,000% more what you couldn't understand before if you're not familiar with Bajan. And if you can't remember some things, they're going to bring them back to mind. If you are just somebody who loves Barbados, it's going to make you feel like a part of the community. The ultimate Bajan handbook.
Did the idea of Bajanisms come from the engaging interactions on Facebook? Or was this your evil plan all along?
It certainly was not my evil or otherwise plan. It started very organically. I recalled something. I'm not even sure what it was, what the first one was, but I thought of something and I thought, only Bajans say this like this. So then, you turn to social media because this is a social media age, and you just put it out there, and to get reactions or to get interaction, to get feedback, to feel like a part of something, like, oh, you and Enoy remember this, my grandmother used to say this. It was something like that. I just remembered, and I posted it on Facebook. And then all of these comments was like, yeah, boy, my granny this. Yeah, boy, I remember this. And then as soon as that happened, it's like it was a trigger for all the other things that we say so differently, so uniquely. There are a lot of Bajanisms that we use very frequently because they're popular and people think that they're the more exotic ones. So you hear them over and over. You see them on shirts, you see them on posts, you see them just recurring, but there's so much more than that. There's so much more to dive into.
Yeah, because language on a whole is like an evolution, a revolution, and then it's come back and it's evolved over and over again. You got like different areas of Barbados saying different things. So somebody from St. Lucie from bag, but we used to call it bag. So these little nuances that I found was very engaging online. Do you think you would approach maybe like the Ministry of Education to put this into schools? Have you done that or thinking about that?
I haven't done it as yet, but it is definitely in my thoughts, because apart from being entertaining and engaging, it's also educational. Even though that's not what I set out to do, it turned out to be a very educational piece of literature. And we have a lot of young people out there that if our Bajanisms aren't documented, they may not know what we're talking about. They're not gonna know the origins of some phrases and words, and not gonna understand what their history is. And that's really important. But this one I specifically and deliberately made kid friendly. It is intangible culture. Like, a dialect isn't a standardized coded language. So you're not gonna get, most of the time you're not gonna get like a language course at school. You ain't growing up doing English, Spanish, French, and Bajan. You know what I mean? Like, so it's something that we gotta go the extra mile to document and to archive and to have there for posterity, for education, for future generations. So I think that's why it's that important to me, like, just so it doesn't disappear.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't want that to happen ever.
Yeah. And we as Caribbean people also have challenges where we don't document. We will hold fast to oral traditions, I find. But when it comes to the actual research and documentation of certain things, you say, oh, I don't know where to find X, I don't know why, but you have to go to granny, or you gotta go to mommy, or even go to your teacher at school. How was the response to people of that generation seeing this new book come out with all these new phrases and terms now popping up?
So far, who's seen it, when they see things that are, I guess, after their time, they will be like, oh, when they say this now, we used to say this and this back in the day, and I'll other in there too, in the book. All right.
So you have a whole, like a bridge between the
so
two
it is definitely bridging a gap, and I think that I'm really proud of that aspect of it too, because that was also unplanned. It just happened organically, and I think that's something that's very notable about Bajan culture. It just does what it wants. Like, it evolves as we evolve, and it continues to be very, very Bajan, and that's something I'm very proud of.
If you travel with your book and an 8-year-old comes up to you and be like, Auntie Mahalia, what is bout? What you should know about it? What would you want that child to walk away with from that book?
I would say this book about you. I would probably say that, but I feel like I would say this is where you come from. This is your history. This is what makes Barbadians and what makes us stand out and what makes us unique. And the things that we could boast about and the things that we could stand from people with, you know, the things that we could go in a corner and talk and have people not understand what we say. Like all of this is us. It is you, is me, is Barbados.
Hey.
Yeah.
I have one thing that we usually do on our show on the radio. We usually have our guests come in and we take different phrases from Mahalia's book and they have to use it in a sentence. So you have a challenge, Mahalia.
Oh, Lord.
You have to say what Bajanisms is as a description, but then use it in a sentence.
Oh, so the word Bajanisms.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Woo! All right. So Bajanisms are any word, action, tradition that reflect and embody what makes a Barbadian Barbadian. Yeah?
Okay.
So if somebody from Open Away come to me and say, why the two of them cross, they sound like them quarreling, but then they hug at the end, I would say because that's Bajanisms. That's a Bajanism.
I like that.
So the term mocka, because we know when a Bajan says something mock,
Yeah.
we know it is fake. It ain't real, it's an imitation, all of them things.
Yeah.
It mock, right? But then you can say too that something for mock, right? Like how we would say it for real.
Yeah.
But it ain't real,
Are
so
they on
it
the
mock.
emphasis?
So you gotta be for mock. But a mocka. In the book, I have the definition for mocka as a perpetrator of imitation.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. I tell you just get A++ because you mommy clapping, right?
The books are available online for pre-order right now. If you go to Bajanisms.com, you can find them there. There's a button that says get the book. If you click that, you can go pre-order it right now in ebook form. It will be available everywhere on December 7th. Yes, and when I say everywhere, I mean Amazon. I mean from me. But I also mean from Days Books, Cloyster Bookstore, Black Rock Books.
Good.
Yes.
I love Black Rock Books.